Hello everyone, welcome back to the World Conflict Monitor channel. Please subscribe to my channel. The story begins with growing tensions in South America. Venezuela, under Nicolás Maduro, has issued strong warnings and is openly preparing its military for the possibility of confrontation with the United States and its allies. In simple words, the situation is that Venezuela feels threatened by U.S. presence and military movements in the Caribbean, and Maduro has turned this into a national rallying cry. He has positioned his forces, carried out large-scale drills, and declared that any attempt to undermine Venezuelan sovereignty will be met with force. This is the backdrop: a fragile nation under sanctions, with a struggling economy, yet determined to show its resilience against one of the world's most powerful militaries. From the outside, or the exterior view, Venezuela is presenting the image of a nation standing tall. Military parades display tanks, armored vehicles, and uniformed troops marching in discipline. The Venezuelan Air Force showcases Russian-supplied fighter jets, Sukhoi aircraft that roar across the skies during demonstrations. On the Caribbean coastline, missile batteries are positioned, and naval vessels are put on display, signaling readiness. The exterior picture is meant for both domestic and international audiences. Venezuela is saying, "We are ready, we are strong, and we will not be intimidated." But behind the bright flags and the stern speeches, the true capacity of the military becomes the question. Is Venezuela really prepared, or is this more about signaling than strength? Looking at the interior, the reality is more complicated. Inside the country, the economic crisis is deep, resources are scarce, and many soldiers struggle with poor pay and outdated equipment. Food shortages and lack of basic supplies weaken morale. While Maduro speaks of glory and victory, the people inside Venezuela face daily hardships. The short truth is that the interior does not match the grand exterior. Soldiers may show unity during parades, but the condition of bases, vehicles, and weapon systems often reflects years of underinvestment. The inside reality is fragile, making the contrast between the exterior image and interior truth striking. When we talk about performance, Venezuela's military capabilities can be examined in detail. Performance on the battlefield depends on training, equipment, and command structure. Venezuela does possess Russian-made fighter jets, anti-air missile systems, and a modest fleet of tanks and armored personnel carriers. It has also developed paramilitary forces, armed civilian militias known as colectivos, who could act as irregular fighters in any conflict. However, in terms of pure performance against a technologically superior force like the U.S. military, Venezuela faces massive disadvantages. While it can launch missiles, scramble aircraft, and defend coastal areas, the sustainability of its performance under prolonged pressure is questionable. Still, what Venezuela does perform well in is asymmetric warfare, guerrilla-style tactics, use of terrain, and mobilization of irregular forces. This gives it the ability to cause difficulties for any external invader, even if it cannot achieve outright victory. In terms of safety features, Venezuela relies heavily on defensive measures. Its safety features include fortified bases, underground facilities for leadership, and reliance on Russian-supplied surface-to-air missile systems like the S-300. These systems create a defensive shield, at least symbolically, to deter air attacks. The military also rehearses scenarios of protecting oil fields, infrastructure, and key government buildings from sabotage or aerial bombardment. Another safety measure is its close alliance with nations like Russia, China, and Iran, who may not send troops but can provide intelligence, cyber capabilities, and diplomatic backing. Safety, therefore, is not just about weapons but also about international safety nets Maduro is trying to weave to protect his regime. The unique selling points of Venezuela's war preparations lie in its narrative. Unlike many countries, Venezuela positions itself as a small nation resisting imperial aggression. This David versus Goliath stance gives Maduro a unique propaganda tool. The government sells the story that the Bolivarian revolution is under attack and must be defended at all costs. Another unique point is the mobilization of civilians. Unlike conventional militaries that only depend on professional soldiers, Venezuela's plan involves arming thousands of civilians and organizing them into militias. This creates the image of an entire nation ready to resist, making intervention appear costly. Lastly, the geography of Venezuela, dense jungles, mountains, and urban centers, serves as a natural unique feature that would complicate any military operation against it. If we were to place a price tag on this preparation, it is staggering. The economic price is already being paid by the Venezuelan people. Billions of dollars that could have been invested in healthcare, food imports, or rebuilding the economy are being diverted into military drills, weapons maintenance, and propaganda. The price is also social. Families live under fear, shortages continue, and inflation destroys livelihoods. Internationally, Venezuela pays the price of sanctions, isolation, and worsening relations with neighboring countries. So while Maduro claims the price is worth paying for sovereignty, the actual cost is borne daily by ordinary citizens. In conclusion, Venezuela's preparation for war is both a demonstration and a gamble. Externally, the country wants to appear strong, capable, and unafraid of U.S. forces. Internally, the struggles of its people reveal weakness and vulnerability. The performance of its military may be enough to resist small threats, but against a superpower, its endurance is doubtful. Safety measures give it some shield, but not invincibility. The unique selling points of narrative, geography, and mass mobilization make Venezuela's situation distinctive. Yet, the price of this stance is heavy, draining an already suffering nation. Maduro's threats may rally his base and send a message to Washington, but the true battlefield lies in whether the Venezuelan people can endure both external pressure and internal hardship. The world watches as this drama unfolds, a reminder of how fragile peace can be when politics, power, and pride collide.